Nobody knows what the future holds, my friend.
Things change, and so do people. Sometimes it's the people you may have been closest to, like Tony Soprano with Johnny Sack and Paulie Walnuts, for example. In fact, I'd say the two of them are two of the guys from the beginning that changed the most of all. At first, Johnny serves as the composed, rational liaison from New York. He was known as a pragmatist.
Look, Tony, Cash isn't only a friend of you guys. He's a friend of ours.
Airing your dirty laundry in public.
Junior knew how I felt. How would it look if I went to you after I spoke to him?
Now he's got a point. So, what do you want New York to do?
First of all, Junior can't know that we talked. He's got to think that Hesh came to you on his own, by himself.
Bottom line is, what are we gonna do about this? Shakespeare straightening out. Paulie doesn't have shit as usual.
But then, enter season 3. Tony finds out that Johnny has a new house in Jersey.
I didn't know you were moving to Jersey.
Ginny wanted to be near her sisters, and school's out here.
Not for nothing, I'm pretty sure that Johnny and Ginny's kids are out of public schools by that point.
This is strictly a place for me to live. I got no intention of sticking my beak in. I want you to sanction the hit on Ralph Cifaretto.
Now let's introduce Paulie Walnuts.
I want you to see it. I want you to see it. You hear me? I want you to see it.
Hey, it's Uncle Sully and Uncle Paulie.
Hey, Squirt.
In the beginning, Paulie really is in full Uncle Paulie mode. Not just looking out for Tony, but also being there for his kids, too. I love the Safe Families, Everybody Needs One poster behind them, by the way. Paulie was even one of the chaperones for AJ and his date at the school dance.
Can we get some of that whiskey?
Paulie's very deferential to Tony, even when Tony gets pretty aggressive with him.
This is our friend we're talking about here. You say it. You understand?
I understand.
The end of season 3 feels like a dividing line between the first and second half of the show, as well as the dividing line between the pre-9/11 and post-9/11 era, where our world started to feel less certain and a lot darker in some cases. And it's right at this dividing line that we have this first conversation between Johnny and Paulie one-on-one, where things start to come out.
What's the matter?
Yeah, nothing.
Well, you could tell Uncle John.
Tony. He knows my mother's ill. Then he rules against me in this Morristown bullshit. Maybe you heard about it.
I don't stick my beak in.
In fact, as we know, Tony treated his mother very well. Like he said, Green Grove's more like a hotel at Captain Teeb's than a nursing home.
Don't confuse money with caring. Look how we treated her. I mean, he's my dear friend, but come on.
I was just saying that to Junior. That maybe Tony fundamentally don't respect the elderly.
You said that to Junior? What are you making, Manest? You know, Carmine, too. Sometimes he gets very frustrated with Tony and Ralphie.
And in Johnny's head, this must have felt like a good time to really butter Paulie up, knowing his insecurities that he had just expressed about Tony sticking his nose up at him. What better way to get inside information about the DeMeo family than from a guy like Paulie who wants to air some grievances?
Tony's pretty hot. Bet you didn't counteroffer.
God forbid, if this gets really bad, there could be a change.
Tony?
Suffice to say, no matter what happens now or in the future, Carmine won't forget you.
How is Carmine?
He asks about you.
What's your name again?
Paulie Gualtieri. Jersey?
Your father was run over by a trolley, right?
Paulie makes it a point to remind Sil that he goes back in this family all the way to Johnny's day, yet Carmine Sr. asks him if his father was run over by a trolley and doesn't remember his name. For what it's worth, Carmine may have been playing dumb here, but the effect on Paulie was the same nonetheless.
Nobody knows what the future holds, my friend. I'm only trying to bring good relations between the families, as I always do and always will, no matter what happens or who's in charge. If it's me, God forbid, or whoever.
Getting back to Johnny Sack for a minute.
I'm Billy. Jason! Little warn, Lorraine. The money goes up to John.
It's not the boat.
It's not the boat. It's Lorraine Caluso.
Rainey Colusa.
Little Carmine went to school with her. They go back that far.
Kill a woman? Come on. I should fucking kill him and his fucking wife.
Johnny Sack was absolutely furious over a joke made about his wife because that's something sacred. While Johnny Sack may not have personally found Lorraine to be sacred, somebody else did, and many guys have a problem with killing women in general. Not to mention the fact that Johnny Sack knew how long Little Carmine had known Lorraine. Remember how close Johnny and Little Carmine had been at one point?
Galls me is that before Little Carmine went to Florida, I was actually close with him. I was in his wedding party, for Christ's sake.
And then Johnny even mentions killing Little Carmine's wife. Though Johnny Sack changed in some ways because of his ambition, with his eventual rise, albeit a bloody one, to the position of boss before being arrested shortly thereafter. With Paulie, on the other hand, he had been around since Johnny Boy Sopranos' day, but he never saw the top spot as his big prize, at least not outwardly.
But you haven't been yourself since the old man died.
I'd say it began earlier than that, really, when Johnny first made that move to Jersey without letting Tony know, and then it got worse with the Ginny Sack issue, thanks Paulie, and continued to escalate from there.
Lorraine Colucci. And you sink this idiot's boat. It's not the Johnny Sack I know.
Maybe it was that 10-yard dash.
We don't run. It's embarrassing.
With due respect, I'd like to just mull it a little. I'm no spring chicken no more. I don't want to have me dying on you, leaving you worse off than before.
Chicken or the egg? You want to weigh in?
That same stupid joke, huh?
Oh, you with the dead thing. You got the arms and upper body of a 20-year-old.
I gotta work at that.
But just because he may not have wanted the position of boss doesn't mean that he necessarily did what was right for the boss or the family.
Listen, him coming over is good. You're getting a bump. Listen, the way things are, I gotta step back. Feds find an excuse, I'll do a dime for jaywalking.
Not like the old days, huh?
Furio being here. Frees you up, frees me up. It's me, then you and Sil together. That's the new pecking order.
What about Puss?
Pussy reports to you guys. Directly. Same with Furio.
This means a lot to me, T. When my time comes, tell me. Will I stand up?
I'm your lover, baby.
All right, sure. Go ahead. I'm a little biffled, but yeah, sit with it.
Thanks, T.
What?
When Carmine died and you took over, people felt you changed. Became a little trigger happy, maybe? A hothead?
Sometimes the biggest changes in people or with relationships aren't through things that happen once, all of a sudden in a flash, with a solid mark noting the before and the after. Sometimes it's not clear just how much someone has changed or what specifically has changed, but you can feel it in your gut that it's just not the same.
Want a drink?
I gotta go, but Ma's alone.
And I feel like that's how it became for Tony with Paulie and Johnny. It wasn't a clear case of one versus the other. Here's the hero, here's the villain. This is one side, this is the other side. It was more vague and unclear. But those can sometimes be the most dangerous relationships. Thanks for watching. What do you think about Paulie and Johnny Sack?